everybody, and welcome to OND DND, the TTRPG talk show where we help you figure out how to roll your dice better, be a better player, and try to not annoy your DM. I am lover of twists and forever DM Hunter.
Noted problem player Joey.
Terrible note taker Carter.
Oh, on theme. Well, Carter, seeing as you're a bad note taker, our topic today is mastering note taking in TTRPGs, a guide for players and DMs.
We're the wrong people to teach you about this.
Well, maybe we'll see if anybody gets anything good out of this, which I hope you do. So anyway, like I said, we're going to discuss note-taking today. First, let's talk about what the importance of note-taking in a long-term campaign is.
It helps you stay in character, keeps those continuity of like what your character has sort of done in the past, which is important. It helps sort of try to figure out where the story's going so you can actually like make informed decisions instead of just freebirding it. Not that I do any of those things because my brain doesn't like taking notes and I need to figure out a way to trick it into taking notes every time.
Yeah, you remember the DM's NPC's names, and then you get to see the little sparkle of joy in their eye when you don't call the shopkeeper Shopkeepington.
Shopkeepington. I don't think I've heard that one once, which makes me happy.
Brother
Brotherman. At this point, it is his name, I guess. Why would good note taking help immersion or strategy or continuity?
Well, I think it's, just because you have a history of like what happened in the game, so you can sort of re-immerse yourself.
Mile from your microphone.
It helps you it helps you like re-immerse yourself into the game, like between sessions or if you're about to go into the session. It helps you I don't know. I would like, for me, the reason why I think note taking is important, why I want to get better at it, is because in the future I want to be able to go back and pull out a journal and read about our
what
adventures.
You did. Yeah.
I think that's a big important thing. And I'm terrible at it. Just awful.
Joey.
We get one day a week to play our little game of pretend.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know about you, but I can't remember the shit that I'm supposed to do every day.
But this isn't
so
reality.
I don't know how I'm supposed to remember what I did for 3 hours on a Wednesday night without some reference point to it. So.
Sure. Well, my counterpoint to that is I definitely understand not remembering things in my real life. But when it comes to things that aren't my real life, I can tell you what every single decision I made in Mass Effect was, or I can tell you what room you need to go in Assassin's Creed to get this treasure. All these things that weren't my real life because they weren't my real life and I had to think of how to do those things. So that's why I feel like I remember those things more because they're not real life.
Counterpoint to that, I'm on my second playthrough of Elden Ring.
You don't remember a single
I just
thing?
beat it. Just beat it 2 days ago.
And you don't remember anything?
And I'm like, where the fuck is this door?
But the other day, you're like, here's all the deep lore of Elden Ring and Renekton and whatever they're, Rennie and Reginald and Spyro, whatever their fucking names were.
Spyro, yeah.
Careful, Joey, you're kicking the power cord.
Oh, damn.
You'll be gone forever.
That'd be bad.
Anyway, so
yeah, without that point of reference, you know what? One of the most successful multi-playthroughs I ever had was Dino Crisis. I made my own strategy guide for that in a notebook.
You talked about that. You did say that. Do you have that anywhere that we could ever post it and put it somewhere?
I had it in the house that I'm in now.
Holy shit.
So it might be somewhere.
You have to find it. When you find it, we'll put it on the Patreon.
Yeah.
That sounds, I would love to see that. Like Carter said, having a journal that you can go back to and relive your adventure.
Like, do I want to remember what happened in my actual life 5 years ago?
Now that you got phones and pictures for that.
I remember early GTA, like San Andreas stuff. I remember not having a printer. So having to go to the computer, write down all the codes,
Uh-huh.
then go back to the PlayStation, type things in, run back, go here, run back, go back, and keep. Yeah, I remember.
You didn't think
that.
about just like taking a piece of paper and like writing it down?
That's what I just said. Go to the computer because I don't
Find
have a
those,
printer. Writing it down.
Why didn't you
all
just
the
write
codes,
down all the codes at the same time?
Because I wanted to try the codes and see what they gave
You
me.
find them all the time in like copies that get traded in. At
Yeah.
GameStop, people's fucking little note sheets.
Anyway, so let's talk about note taking for players specifically, which you guys are in abundance of being a player. What do you believe as a player are things you should track?
Names, places, general like arc, I guess. Just like general like breakdown of. You don't need to write every single thing that happens in your session, but you should write the general like tones of the session or like just like the important like I don't know. Whenever the DM starts like reading from
I don't know.
reads from exposition, you should probably be writing it down.
Yeah.
Okay.
The DM though should give you a printed copy of that exposition so that you have it for your notes.
Yeah, he's under
They
no
can.
contractual obligation to do so.
But you could ask. You could ask.
Could
your
ask.
DM
Yeah, you
for
you make little relationship level guides for you and
that.
the
Relationship
other people.
level.
And then you can mark them and see where you are on
Joey makes
on
like
your
Sims
loyalty.
level relationship trackers.
You put a little paper clip on there.
Yeah.
You could slide it up and down to see where you're at. Put them on index cards.
Joey only cares about the dating sim of D&D. So yeah, what do you think needs to be tracked?
Inter party interactions, like if something important happens, you should try to remember it and use it in the future. And
Okay.
I think that's important. I think like locations are important.
Objects.
Yeah, how many times have we forgotten how many things we have? And then we're like,
Uh-huh.
oh yeah, we've got 7 of those, right? We didn't use them, spam them last session to survive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Dude,
What?
David drinks so many healing potions. You guys.
He drank one.
Drank
Drank one healing potion.
Oh, it drives me up the wall.
He drank one. One
Just
healing
throwing away 50 gold just throwing it away. We could have taken a short rest.
Wow. Already? You just got there.
Yeah, but we were pretty dinged up from the first fight. We could have
If you
taken
take
a short rest.
now, you're going to waste up your short rests. You only get 4 dice,
Yeah, we don't have
which
to
is
use them
essentially
all.
a healing potion.
We don't have to use them all in the first one. Or I mean, like,
Maybe. Well, for these things that you believe need to be tracked, what methods do you or you think people could take for note taking?
Index cards with paper clips, make sliders to track your relationship levels.
There's a cool like custom like forms you can print out
Yeah.
that sort of just like outline like the things that you should write down and take notes on in the session. You
If
just
you're
fill 'em
playing
out.
in person, ours got desorted last time, but tokens. I think tokens are good.
Yeah.
If you're a DM, you should have healing potion tokens and be like, "There's your potions.
There's-
Give
you
them, hand them in when you're done."
Yeah. That way they can track the resource a little better.
Yeah.
Sure. What other methods? I will say one method, which Joey was really nice to do for our live in-person session, was the DM bought each of us a journal and said, here, you use this for notes. I've done half the work for you. Now just write stuff down. So that was cool, giving each of us a journal. So that's something people could do. What else are some methods you get? What are some weird things you do for note taking? Because there's some people who are straight up like, I'm gonna write out the entire conversation. I'm gonna write this out. Do you do anything weird like symbols or draw pictures for notes?
So
like
you take
what?
a paper clip and an index card.
Other than your sliders.
I draw for notes a lot.
I do like my own little like subtext sometimes. If I'm writing it down, I'll be like, blah, 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 write all those things down, and I'll be like, stupid. This doesn't make any sense. Or like, what does this mean? So sort of leave myself clues to like where I was headspace wise.
So you write in the margins.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. The best notes I've ever had for a campaign, and you should do this for all your future sessions, just record them and watch
Yeah,
them
I
back.
knew it. I knew you were going to
Record them and watch them back, because I am more fucking locked in on my current campaign than I have been in any game I've played with these guys.
I was waiting for you to say that was the method you take, is that you just watch our sessions back. You literally, like, we get done, and then sometimes you'll just be like, all right, good night, guys, and then you watch them that night again.
Yeah.
Like, we just did it, and you just watch it, like, instantly on our Twitch.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even wait till Saturday. You straight up watch it, like, the next day.
Yeah, I was getting frustrated because they weren't getting made public.
But they are.
Now they are.
Yeah, they do. I make sure to click it every time now. All right, well, what are some tips you guys might have to take efficient notes?
I don't have.
You probably don't do it yourself, but if you could give yourself a tip or something you wish you could do to take efficient notes, what would it be?
If you're in person, have your notebook out in front of you, so that it's there and accessible.
Yeah.
Just make bullet points on your piece of paper.
Start by
before-
just putting
yeah,
some
yeah.
bullet points on there. That's good.
Yeah, I find that like if I'm at work or something, like in a meeting, and if I have bullet points already drawn out for myself, I'm more likely to write notes down.
I will say that for your campaign, because you gave us all notebooks, to keep myself on track for making notes, or at least writing something for that session, before we start, I write down our session number and what day it is.
And your name in the right hand corner.
No, I didn't do my name every time, but I wrote the session, I wrote what day it was, and I made like a line being like, all right, this is my next thing of notes. So I knew I had to write something. And if I didn't write anything, then next week when I do it again, I go, fuck, I didn't write anything last week. But at least I know that there was a session and it was on this day and blah, blah, blah. And then I'll try to remember things.
Honestly, if I could find like a cassette recorder
And just,
yeah, I would take it to the home sessions and just record like that.
and you would
So I
listen to
would
that
have it
back.
and listen back to it, because
Animal.
Animal.
What I would do is I would just make an AI make a clip notes of a recorder, just like, can you
all right,
please,
Chat GPT, listen to all of this and then
And
make
just-
notes for me.
can you
You
please,
could, I
can-
mean, it is a
can
thing
you tell
now.
me the important parts of this audio that I just?
That's wild. You can do, you have to play online, and you would have to have,
You know,
because like for my work.
you could do a little recorder,
So
take it over.
let me finish what I was getting at. So for my work, we have a thing that it can tell who is who, because it specifically works with like Microsoft Teams, and each one of them names you and it can recognize that. Whereas you can just upload to some things and be like, take the notes, but it will not recognize the different voices. You have to either tell it the different voices or whatever. So that makes it even more difficult. But you could. It is possible. All right, so those are some tips for efficient notes. Now note taking for DMs, which we all have been a DM and obviously forever DM. So we'll all put some notes in on this. So first thing is, as DM, what do we believe we should track?
Locations,
He's
names,
gonna
objects.
You should take index cards and a paperclip and make relationship trackers. So, you know where your
so everybody knows.
NPCs are
I
at.
give like when I take notes as a DM, sort of what I do is I set up like a bunch of, I come up with ideas for cities that I really like the idea or aesthetic of, and then I just sort of write out.
This is during. We're talking during a session.
Oh, during a session.
During a session. This is note taking during a session. Carr says I don't write anything down.
I write stuff down. That's important.
Shit.
I don't
usually
write.
have-
I don't write everything down, but I'll write down like, okay, they have this thing. They interacted with this person. They think more favorably of them. They think less favorably of them. I'm gonna write down, okay, they did this thing, so then this guy's gonna do this thing now, because they didn't stop him or they didn't do
Sure.
this thing, so he gets to go do this thing. He might go and like try to crash your ship and like snipe you and like teleport all over the map and like stuff like that.
Stupid.
I usually have like an index card to make additional notes on, but I usually have like, if I can go back to like my outline for the session, I'm usually like, oh yeah, they did this here and that happened, and
Mhm.
so
I don't
can
outline
usually
sessions.
work off of those.
Wow.
And then if there's something that happened, then I'm like, oh shit, that happened. What did they get? And I look around in my notes and I didn't jot it down. I'm usually like, all right, who remembers?
Who remembers this thing?
I'm
that's
like,
that's the,
Inspiration.
yeah, the recap is like DM notes. All right, guys, recap time. Who remembers what happened?
Start jotting it all down.
Yeah, like I don't really outline for my next session like what they're gonna do or like what to do. I just sort of like take notes on like what happened in the session and like what pieces are in play and what those characters are gonna do next session. And like if you guys are around for that, cool. Or if you like, I don't know. I'm a purely sandbox DM, I feel. Like there will be a main plot line, but there probably is going to be another plot line you could follow that is also pretty big.
Which is what Hunter's thinking right now, because we were both like, magic ball, fuck it.
When I am in a game, I usually will track your interactions with people. So the things that you guys are like, oh, I say goodbye to him and I leave. Okay, I very much am the fuck, what's that video game company that made the story games?
Telltale.
I'm a very Telltale person where I go, this person will remember that. Anytime it's something I go, oh, okay, make sure I write that one down. Now, when I do note take something important, like big, that's a lot of times when you guys like hear me go quiet and you're like, oh, this guy's doing nothing. Oh, he's rolling dice. It's really me going, type faster, because I can't type fast enough. So, what are some?
That's like another thing that a recorder would be great for. Like,
yeah,
especially if you're like doing online, you just like mute yourself and you record a note real quick.
Mm-hmm. That actually could probably work for me, but I do find it a lot harder to take my notes and things.
A dame walked into my office.
For our online game, I do find it way harder to keep up with like trying to make sure I write things down because I have so many things open at the same time. So it's a little bit tougher. The home game, I love my little journal. I love that I've got that little thing out and I'm writing it down.
Always making notes on us. And we watch him. Like we take a step outside and smell the beautiful morning air.
Beautiful morning air. Anyway, well, if you guys could have one little final thought here, how do you believe someone or us or anyone could make note-taking fun?
You can't.
Zoo Pals make note keeping fun. So
buy
a pack of Zoo Pals and take your notes on
Zoo
those.
Pals.
If anybody has any ideas, let me know. But I just think that you should keep trying each campaign forward, and you'll get
just
better
try to do
at
a little bit every week, and eventually you'll get into the habit.
It'll pay off.
Yeah,
it's worth it. It'll pay off.
And you'll be like, you'll go back and you'll have that one note that was important, and then you'll be like, I did it. I guess I'll do this more.
Mm-hmm. It's worth it. Well. Oh my God. Well, anyway, before we end here, make sure that in the comments you tell us your note-taking experiences.
Techniques. Do you have the index cards for relationship tracking?
How do you make your note-taking fun? Whatever it is, please tell us in the comments, and if we like it, we will feature it on a future episode. But thank you guys so much. I am the knower of relationship trackers and forever DM Hunter.
Relationship tracker creator, PC, Joey.
Bullet point himself, Carter.
Bullet point himself. Thank you guys so much, and hopefully we are helping you with your campaigns, and we will see you next week for some more amazing D&D tips.
Just the tips.
Just the tips.
Hey there, dipshits. It's me, Joey, a.k.a. Slooty Mage.
I'm Hunter, voice of Hunter Taylor.
And I'm Carter, Eagle Eagle. We're
Older and Dumber.
Every Friday, we drop wisdom, humor, and a whole lot of nonsense. You won't want to miss it.
Become a patron today for as low as $5 a month. Get early access to all our episodes and exclusive behind-the-scenes looks at all the things we're doing and May's super secret editing notes.
Shout out to all our awesome dipshits. Your support really helps keep this madness going.
Join the crew. Be a dipshit. It's an exclusive club, and you're invited.
Go Dipshits mark your calendar every Friday for a dose of Older and Dumber craziness. See you there.
Fade to black. Now my stand. Fade to black.